This conference will now be recorded.
Hello guys, welcome back. So today we are going to start with the new service called S3. I think in S3 yesterday we started with sorry, I think we already started with the S3 service, right? And yesterday we understood about how to create a S3 bucket and how to what are the things we need to consider, like test and the 1st November 2023. And also we have seen about the couple of the properties and also ARN and the permissions. These all things we have seen here. Okay. And today we are going to talk about a couple of interesting facts that we are going to host in. We are going to host the static website. Okay, so how are we going to host the static website? So before we are beginning with that, I'm having a couple of files. I'm going to keep uploading them into the so index. Second. Okay, once again upload, and I'm going to add the files. Okay, so I'm adding all these files, and also I'm going to grant the permissions like so I'm going to grant the permissions like a grant public access. I'm going to grant the public access because these files I'm going to be accessible. I'm going to be accessible from the outside world. Okay, so choose the predefined ACLs or specifically so what I'm going to do that I'm going to choose from the predefined the ACLs, and also if you are trying to keep the predefined ACLs, then we can able to keep it in the private or grant the public read access. The grant public read access meaning that the objects whatever we define here, these all objects we can access it only for the read purposes from the outside world. So when you have an URL, so from that URL you can able to access them, but you can't able to modify anything as such that. Okay, so anyway we are granting the public access, right? So for that S3 is going to seeking the permission that the public access seeking the kind of disclaimer notice. We need to accept that, and the properties. So here I still did not explain about S3 storage classes and everything. So after we have done with the S3 static the website hosting, and then we will be getting into the some sort of the storage classes and then their significance of each one of that. Okay, and upload. Yes, I'm uploading them. Once it is uploaded, okay, so we can come to the folder and click on actions. Okay, we have to make them one by one as a public. Make public using ACLs. Yes. And also we have a files about error.acl. I'm making that as a ACL. Make public. Why I'm making it public? Because to ensure I wanted to make the my files to be accessible from anywhere. So that's the reason I'm making all of them into the public. So make the public. So I made the public everyone, and then now I can come into the properties tab. Within the properties, yeah, at the bottom we have an option like oh, in the properties, at the bottom you will be having a static website hosting. In this the static website hosting, you will be by default it will be in a disabled state. So you can able to use the static website hosting. You need to enable this option. Once you enable this, you will be having two options. One is the host a static website or redirect request for an object. When you say host a static website, meaning you can able to simply provide a index.html file and the error.html file, whichever the file. It's not a mandatory that you must supposed to use the same file name, like the index.html file and the error.html file. You can keep any file name, maybe like service.html file or the error.html file, but it must have the entries. It must have the entries. Okay, so now this is my file. This is my, where is this is my file. So I'm going to so this particular content is coming from my inside the directory. Okay, this particular content or the index.html file is coming from my the local browser. So this time the same website I can able to access it from the internet, the website URL. So how that is going to be getting generated? So anyway, uh, I already created my website. I mean, my URL. I mean to say that my code I have the stored it. I stored it into the naming called it as a index.html file. And if there is any errors are there, so that it should supposed to redirect into the error.html file. For example, there are some certain requests will be coming in, like how it will be like you will be having a domain. So the domain will be from the another service called the route 53 service. Okay, so domain will be coming from the route 53 service. Yeah, what is this? So for example, the redirect request for an object, right? So for this option thing, we will be supposed to create the domain. So the domain we will be creating in the route 53 service. From the route 53 service, when you create the domain, so that domain entries, the domain entries, we will be I mean, for those the domain entries also, you should supposed to call the files, right? So how do you supposed to call that? Then you will be passing some sort of the files like index.html file, and also the error.html file. All these the HTML files we will be calling it from the route 53 domain. But in this case, since we don't have any the route 53 domain service, we are going to call it from the static website thing. So how are we going to make it happen? Okay, so let's see that if it is a redirecting, right? So you should supposed to provide a website like this: www dot sorry, the http www dot mintra.com. For example, if it is a Mintra, so for that Mintra, you should supposed to redirect it like this. You need to provide, or the static website, and the static website with some sort of the redirection rules, how we can able to grant it. Save the changes. When you save the changes, you will be able to receive some sort of the URL, and this URL I'm going to open it from the browser. Yes, this is my static website. So my static website, it is they're gonna be they're bringing it up now. Okay, so yeah, this is very interesting topic, and the majority of the small scale applications, and also the small scale applications, and the e-commerce business applications, so they are all using this kind of the static website or the hosting, because it made it as a very simple organization way, and everything it is on the same page. And uh, one good thing is that it is a very easy way to host a website. But and also another thing is that I would really tell you that it is a very much the vulnerable item. It is a very much the vulnerable item that anybody can able to hack your data, and they can simply steal your data within just if they going into the view page source. They can simply see, they can literally see whatever the content you have it in your website in the backend. Everything you can able to watch it. So this is the disadvantage of the hosting the website in the static way. And but the best possible things what we can able to achieve from the we can able to achieve from the bucket is that it is called the life cycle management. It is called as the life cycle management. So what is this the life cycle management, and where we can able to do that? Now in this tab, right, in the buckets, if you're going into the management, in this management you will be having the life cycle rules, and the replication rules, and inventory rules. Inventory, the rules. So the first one I'm going to the talking about the life cycle rules. In this life cycle, when when you're supposed to create the life cycle, right? So before understanding this the life cycle concept, you must should understanding the what are the storage types we have it in the S3. Okay, that we will see storage types. So what are the storage classes available in the S3 service? They are S3 standard, S3 intelligent tiering, and also S3 standard IA, and one zone IA, and S3 glacier retrieval, and flexible instant retrieval, deep archival, and also outpost. So this performance chart is like the difference in between that. Difference in between that. Okay, so okay. First, we'll understanding about the S3 standard. So S3 standard. One second, I'm just getting a one thing. Okay. So basically the Amazon S3, right? In Amazon S3, you will able to we can able to the storage, the different the storage classes will be having it. That is all we are going to be seeing in the page. So if you see here, we can able to, I mean, the S3 service is going to be offering the different the storage classes, which will going to be the help us on the optimize the data storage and also their cost. And at some time, so we can able to say that access time based on the specific needs also. So the specific needs, meaning that what are they? So we can able to see that the S3 standard, right? So if you read this thing, it is going to provide you the low latency and also the high throughput, and also it is designated to the 99.999 the 11.9% of object storage, the durability, and meaning that there is there is a I would say the 0.1101 percentage of loss it can be, because your data is going to be the storing across multiple available zones. So I can simply say that the this S3 standard is going to provide you the high durability and also availability and low latency, high durability, and also high availability. So with this thing, what happens, right? You can able to we can able to use this particular S3 standard class for the frequently accessed data and critical workloads. Okay, please keep these 2 points in a mind, that S3 standard, it provides high durability and also availability, and with a low latency. And this particular S3 standard, it is suitable for the frequently accessed data and also critical workloads. Okay, making sense to you now? And the next one is the intelligent tiering. Next one is the intelligent tiering. Maybe before going into that intelligent tiering, let's understand the standard. Okay, let's understand the standard and one zone IA, standard IA and the one zone IA. Then we will discuss about intelligent tiering. Okay, that is a that naming itself is a very good intelligent the terminology. Okay, before talking that, we can go into the third one. Okay. Um so the standard IA, it is something like we can able to IA stands for infrequent access. IA stands for infrequent access. So basically, we this particular this storage class will be designated for this storage class will be designated for infrequently the access data, and also it the best thing it is that it is gonna offers the lowest storage cost, but retrieval time cost retrieval cost will be high comparatively the standard class. So basically, the standard, if it is taking if it is taking like 10 milliseconds, okay, 10 milliseconds to retrieve the data, whereas a S3 standard IA, it will take around the 50 milliseconds. Okay, 50 milliseconds. That is the only one difference in between the S3 standard and also S3 standard IA. And then the other one is that S3 one zone IA. When I say S3 one zone IA, it is more similar to the standard IA. So it is moreover like the standard IA, but it stores the data in a single availability zone, making it less availability. I would say less resilient. So the reason because in the standard, it is going to keep the data in multiple availability zones. Standard IA multiple availability zones, whereas a one zone IA, it is going to keep it in the same single availability zones. So it is designed for the 99.5 the availability over a year, whereas there is no such designation provided for the S3 standard or S3 standard or S3 standard IA. For both of them, we did not give anything. Now, the best part about that intelligent tiering, right? So this intelligent tiering is it is basically automatically moves the object in between two tires, like the frequent tires and infrequent tires, because why we use this, right? We can able to optimize the cost, and we can able to save some sort of money, and mostly where we will use this kind of intelligent tiering, right? Wherever you can able to analyze the patterns, and we can able to where we can able to analyze the patterns, and where it is not actually not able to unpredictable things. So for those things, we must use the intelligent tiering things. Okay, intelligent tiering things. And so, and next one we have is the glacier and glacier deep archive. So wherever you see the glacier, the terminology, right? Glacier and the glacier deep archive terminology. So they both are designed for long-term archival processes. You see here the glacier. So the glacier instant retrievals, flexible retrievals, deep archival, all these things, right? All these three will be useful for the same purposes. Why? Because it is using for the long time archival storage with the retrieval times from minutes to the hours. Basically, if you see the standard, if it is taking the 10 milliseconds, and S3 standard IA, it will take maybe the 20 milliseconds, whereas a S3 one zone IA, it should take 50 milliseconds. Okay, now S3 intelligent tiering, it is right. It is gonna be like we can able to store the data infrequent and also other frequent data. So both we can able to use it in the both we can able to use it in S3 intelligent tiering. Whereas if you're coming into the S3 Glacier, right? So in the Glacier, we can able to store the data for the longer time, meaning long time archival data, and with the time of um, 50 milliseconds to it will take at least hours time. So the Glacier instant retrieval, it will be taking maybe if you consider it will be taking maybe half an hour for the instance the retrievals, whereas the flexible retrieval, it is moreover like the intelligent tuning. Okay. Now the coming into the deep archival will take minimum to minimum that 12 hours of time. Okay, minimum to minimum the 12 hours of time. So each object will take the 12 hours of time, but the comparatively what the happens, right? Deep archival will be very less cost. Deep archival will be very the less cost, because only the deep archival things are going to the going to store in the magnetic. Only the Glacier deep archival objects are going into magnetic the storage systems. So what are they? Magnetic storage systems meaning HDD drives, hard drive disk. Okay, hard drive disk. Whereas the remaining all the storage are going to use the S3, sorry, SSD, will be using a SSD. And the next one we have a AWS Outpost, guys, where AWS S3 Outpost. So S3 Outpost is something like if you wanted to extend the storage, right? If you wanted to, if you have the S3 storage, and you wanted to use that the storage in your on-premises data centers, in your on-premises data centers, then we must use the AWS S3 Outpost service. AWS S3 Outpost service. So basically, this is more suitable for the hybrid cloud scenarios, guys. Wherever if you are trying to configure the data in between AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, then we must use the S3 Outpost mechanism. Okay, so this is how we can able to do the S3 the storage classes. Now let's create a one the lifecycle rule. So the lifecycle rule, what I'm going to keep, my rule is something like archive the data. Archive the data. So what it is, I mean, what it is doing that archiving it, it is going to choose a rule, choose the rule scope, limit the scope of this rule by using either one or more filters, or apply to all objects in the bucket. So basically, this particular rule should supposed to apply based upon the filter basis. Like you can able to provide us some sort of the prefix. Prefix is something like what it is that maybe if the okay, Sarvesh Rao. So Sarvesh Rao. Rao is the last name. So in the last the Rao, if you wherever you see the people who are starting with the Rao, so everyone they should supposed to get the increment the 5,000 from the next month. So what is the logic here? What is the filter condition here? The filter condition is like the last name who are having the raw. So that is something like the filter, right? Actual the search criteria. So in the same way, in the same way, if you have a bucket, and within the bucket, if you are having a files are starting with some prefix like archive or data online, something like anything of the prefix. So you can able to provide that the prefix here, online underscore. So in that object, in that bucket, whatever the prefix we have chosen here, using that prefix, any objects are there, this particular the lifecycle rule will apply for all those objects. Okay. Now right now I'm trying to apply it for the entire all the S3 bucket. So I'm going to acknowledge that. And lifecycle rule action, guys, lifecycle rule action, what it does: move current version of objects between storage classes. Yes, I can able to move the storage classes. By default, it will be in a S3 standard. So now if you wanted to do the transition, now you can able to choose whichever you wish to modify. Okay, now I wanted to make a move to the S3 one zone IA. One zone IA, it should go after 2 days. Minimum 30 days, huh? Okay, minimum 30 days. After 30 days of time, when the object got created, that object storage class is going to the converting into the S3 one zone IA. So the S3 one zone IA, it is gonna give you the best advantage is that it is gonna store the data into only one particular the availability zone. It is not going to store across multiple availability zones. Okay, and if you wanted to make the more transitions, right, so you can able to choose the other one, like the transition, the non-current versions of objects between the storage classes. Non-current versions meaning what is the current versions and the non-current versions. Current versions meaning whichever it is happening very frequently, those versions will be considered as a the current versions. The non-current versions meaning that okay, I think I did not explain this thing. Coming to the S3, if you enable the versioning of the S3 bucket, if you enable the versioning on S3 bucket, uh, properties and versioning, bucket versioning is enabled. Now, if you are trying to make a modification of this file, okay, now this particular file I'm going to modify. This particular file I'm going to delete it. Not delete, at least I can able to make some modification. Okay, maybe delete it. Okay, if I delete the file, then also if you're coming into the S3 bucket, where is the object version, guys? We should supposed to open that file. Okay, somewhere is there. I'm not able to recollect. Basically, if you enable the S3 versioning, if you enable the S3 versioning of your bucket, I mean S3 versioning on your bucket, then the current version is something like the recent object, and the non-current version is something like the previous tags. I mean, if it is modified today, and today will be the current, and the yesterday's one is the non-current thing. So for those the non-current things, they should supposed to move into the which one, they should supposed to going into the glacier instant retrievals after 30 days. So likewise we have to create the multiple. Likewise a valid integer value is should be supposed days after creation, 30 days. Yes, move objects to the S3 storage. Then if you are opening that lifecycle rule, then you can able to see. So currently we can't able to see anything now because just now we created, and also this creation, it went for I mean we created for the 2 days ahead, 2 days after things. So after 2 days, what exactly should happen for these files? Okay, those things we should supposed to see. And the coming back to here, currently which storage class it is assigned, that we can able to see from here. The current the storage class, it is the standard class, and soon after it is going to converting into the S3 Glacier. The reason, because we are not going to use anymore S3 storage class, this particular bucket objects. Okay, so next, coming back to the, which one? Bucket versioning. Just a second, guys. I'm getting a ping. Okay, yes. Okay, I think we are done. We have, if you can see here, in the life cycle rules, right? The coming into the management, and inside the management, if you can see here, we have the life cycle rules. The likewise, I mean, the currently we created only one life cycle rule, right? That is a archive data. And if you want to create the another the life cycle rule, again you can able to create that. Okay, so it is for deep archive. It is for the deep archive, and it should supposed to apply for all the buckets. And now what I'm supposed to do for the deep archival thing, I wanted to delete expired object and delete markers or incomplete the multi-part uploads. So these all things I'm going to click on, and delete incomplete the multi-part upload. So multi-part upload is meaning that so for example, if you are trying to what is the maximum size, what is the maximum size we can upload to S3? Up to 5 terabyte. Up to 5 terabyte files we can able to store it in the S3 bucket. But there is a concern, guys. One second, I'm getting one person. Okay, it closed. So but there is a concern if you are trying to upload a the 5 terabyte file single time. So how long does it take for you? At least the 5 terabyte file, can you able to have it in your local machine? I believe every one of us will be having almost maybe the 1 terabyte of the hard drive, or else the 2 terabyte of 2 terabytes of hard drive in your the local system. But the maximum size is capable in S3 is the 5 terabyte, and that too, the 5 terabyte file, if you are trying to upload it, how long does it take? And and in the meantime, if any one of the file, if the file got failed to upload in the meantime, what it's gonna be happening? So you can't, again you need to reinitiate the entire the 5 terabyte file transfer. Okay, so to avoid such things, in S3 we have a option called multi-part upload. In S3 we have a option called multi-part upload. Multi-part upload in S3. So for the time being, I am requesting you to please test this scenario. Like you please create the AWS account, and then test this scenario. How to upload a object, how to upload and copy object using with the multi-part upload concept. Okay. Once you give a try, and if you are unable to proceed further, then I can help you to fix this the multi-part upload concept. Okay. And coming back to the session, And if there is any incomplete the multi-part uploads are there, then after 2 days, those incomplete objects should supposed to get deleted. That is the rule. So here, if you can see, we are having two different rules. One rule is for archiving the data, and the second one is the deep archival data. Just thinking, guys. Still, we have the another thing: management replication rules. I think the replication rules we don't have time to complete it in today's session, because it will be the some at least 15 to 20 minutes time it will take. Minimum 15 to 20 minutes time. Okay, no worries. We can continue this session the tomorrow. I mean, the next day, the next working day, we can continue. And in the meantime, how many of you are created the Naukri profile, and are you trying to applying for the jobs, or are you? What is the status of that? Sarvesh, Venkat,
Not started yet from my side. I was just
not
going through all
started
those.
it.
Yeah, I was just going through all those CVs which Mahesh had shared.
Okay, okay. Please try
A
to
lot of
follow it.
yeah, so we just
So
go through
please
it and
start it now. Please start it
yeah,
now. The reason, because currently we have the multiple openings are there, and everyone are getting placed quickly. So this is the time. Okay, please start it.
yes. Could you just share that list of rules which you had posted one day? I don't remember like multiple rules you had posted.
Multiple rules.
Rules into like what kind of job roles we can search for.
You can able to apply for cloud engineer, AWS cloud engineer, and DevOps engineer, and AWS plus Linux or Windows admin, and then platform engineer, SRE. So these are the roles you can able to apply. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any questions or something? Then we can catch up. See you then. Bye bye. Happy weekend.